All right, everybody, welcome to Market Pros, where we talk about everything crypto and the markets. My guest today is Shockwave. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for coming on. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I like what you've done so far with your channel, so happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So, can uh, can you give the audience a quick rundown of your experience in crypto, the markets, NFTs, just the whole investing space as a whole?
Sure. So about 17 years ago is when I had money from my paycheck put into a very basic mutual fund through my employer, and that's where it started. I wanted to know where that money was going, and so I began researching the traditional stock market as we know it, and didn't pay much attention to it after that initial sort of introductory lesson, I'll call it, and focused on my job. Had the auto deduction out of my paycheck go into it each paycheck, and that built up quite handsomely. Uh, and then I took a deeper interest in it when I had some more time, about 2009. It was kind of after that initial recession. I didn't really worry about it. I know some people did, but I was fortunate in that I had steady employment,
Right.
and I had my auto deduction, going into Fed fund, and I had some time. I was studying it in business school as well, so I started to dig deeper, and that's when I began sort of picking individual stocks and learning more about stock valuations, what have you. Don't want to go too deep into that. Happy to answer questions you have, but fast forward to 2016, 2017 is when I began crypto trading, and I started with Coinbase. I wasn't too deep into it. Started slowly reading about it, learning about it. Made some money, lost some money. But what intrigued me about the crypto market as a whole was the decentralized principle that Bitcoin was founded on, and that wasn't really something that I was able to get my hands on, in that time frame, trading on Coinbase. But I knew that if I kept learning, I would find a way, find access and do it, and I sure did. And then sort of just casually tinkering with Ethereum and some of the smaller projects on there. Fast forward to now, where you and I sort of crossed paths with Gala Games and Star Atlas and the play to earn blockchain scene. That's what I have found interesting currently. Although I still trade regularly in the stock market, over the last few years, I've got into trading options. I sell options mainly. So I run the gamut. I don't focus strictly on crypto, but um, I'm very much involved, interested. I have a good percentage of my portfolio in crypto and NFTs. I focus mostly on the gaming NFTs right now, but I'm not exclusive to it. If I see an NFT that I think could grow in value, or I can make a quick dollar on it, I'll go for it. I'm not loyal to any of them. I don't really hold them just to hold them. I see it as sort of the fringe of the speculative of speculation in my portfolio. But I enjoy it. It's fun, and I'm excited to see what some of these play to earn games have coming up. Yeah, well, the one I'm focused on is Echoes of Empire, developed by Ion Games, sponsored by Gala Games, who is working the blockchain, and it's similar to Star Atlas, but more of a smaller scale. So when Star Atlas finally comes aboard, I'm really going to be looking forward to that as well. And then Town Star is something I got into initially as the play to earn scene, and I really enjoyed that. But I'm kind of stepped back from that for now.
Yeah, it sounds like you did it the right way. You focused on education first, you remain diversified, and you're not married to one coin. You know, you're not married to any of your coins. So you can get in, get out, take profits, and not have that psychology of, loving a project pulling you back from taking profits. And as I said, you're also diversified, and not just in one market. You're diversified over a wider range of markets. NFTs, stocks, options, and crypto. So I definitely think you did it the right way. Like I said, you focused on education, which is very important. That's the way I did it. I focused on education first, started in the stock market, moved on to Forex, then crypto, then full crypto, and now I'm starting to trade options myself. I got 5 years trading experience. I figured now was the time to start trading options, being able to hedge my bets, being able to pull different strategies, combine different strategies and broaden my diversification as well. Um, so what what is your favorite market? I heard you talking about multiple markets there. What is your favorite market to trade and why?
Yeah, I think if I had to pick one, that's kind of tough. But if somebody put me in some strange theoretical jail and said you can only trade one, I think I would trade options. Understanding that I would you know need the underlying stock in some of these trades. But I really enjoy the math behind options trading, and then the volatile nature. I find interest in it. It engages me, and I don't do it just for that. There's certainly money to be made, but the way options are designed and the way they are valued, the pure math behind it really intrigues me. And I'm by no means a math genius. I'm probably in sort of the above average tier if you had to rank me somewhere. I have a graduate degree, I have a couple undergraduate degrees, but there's some folks that blow me away in the math modeling sector, no doubt. But nonetheless, I really am intrigued by it, involved with it. So I would pick options, but closely behind that, I would go with crypto. I like what crypto is about. I like some of the emerging projects. I like how people can stand up a project on their own merit in blockchain, and it's only getting better. So Ethereum blockchain is, what I like to focus on, but I've recently stepped into a project on the Avalanche blockchain, and I'm blown away by the speed and the low fees. And I just say that to say that it's getting better by the day, easier to use, more mainstream. But I know a little off topic there. But yeah, I would pick options followed closely by crypto market.
Gotcha. Yeah, if I was to pick, I mean, first of all, I think options are a fascinating financial product. But if I was to pick, it would probably be crypto myself. So, what are your long-term perspectives on crypto? Like, where do you see the space going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I love being asked those kind of questions because it's fun to pontificate and chat.
Yeah,
But I don't have a crystal ball, so I want anybody listening to know that I don't think I can tell you exactly how it's going to happen. And anybody that does, I would caution a listener to be careful about that. But I think the way we are trending, we're probably going to see a country emerge with digital currency. China is sort of leading the way on that, on their own digital currency and exchange. Um, that I find that troublesome because the way China enacts most of their policy, whether it's monetary or domestic, it's very centralized and controlled. So I don't think we're going to see the beauty of a decentralized blockchain emerge out of their digital currency. But I think we're gonna see China lead the way with it, and that's where sort of the world is going to be turned on to it, and then maybe you'll have some other countries kind of follow with their own. And then we've seen in the past couple of years developing countries adopting crypto as a national currency blockchain that's already in existence. We see that in Venezuela. So I think we're going to see more of that. But then I think we're going to see some of these things like play to earn gaming. I think we're going to see some companies try to break into the music and streaming sector, like a Netflix. I think they're going to be a lot of trouble getting that where it's going to overthrow the current contenders. But I think we're going to see these kind of emerging ideas in the next 5 to 10. That's kind of how I see it.
Okay. Um, so what are your future plans in the markets and just in your investing profession as a whole? What are your future plans?
I want to gain as much passive income from multiple streams that I can, so I can choose to work. Right now, I've done well. So if I became suddenly unemployed today, I would still be all right. I would have to, lower my standard of living a bit, but I have enough capital that I could survive. I would be fine. But knowing nothing beats constant steady income, and I think that's a misnomer that we see in some of the newer investors. They think they can sort of get into it and make one big trade or two big trades, and they'll be able to live off those
Yeah.
forever. And I think you read one too many articles on Market Watch or some blog, and nothing beats steady income. But my goals in the investing realm are to again create as many passive income streams as I can from stock and options. I see options as a steady passive income stream, specifically with selling calls. Occasionally, I'll sell puts if I'm running the wheel, but I mainly focus on selling calls. I'm a believer that stocks go up, and that's a good way to just have residual income. Just slowly pouring into my brokerage, and then I'll use that to buy stocks or do more of the boring traditional things like fund my Roth IRA with that residual income. And then I like to actively trade crypto. I've hit a couple small jackpots doing that. I mean, in the last 2 years, I think everybody was a winner somewhere.
Yeah.
I know, sadly, some people lost out, but I did really well with a couple micro coins, and that really added to my capital. And now I'm moving a lot of my crypto portfolio, understanding that's just a percentage of my overall portfolio. My crypto portfolio, I'm really engaged in the play to earn sector right now, so I'm gonna play with that, have fun with it. I'm already making some money on it. I have a Gala Founders node, just one. I didn't want to go too heavy into it, but it's nice. I get mine crypto daily from that, and then I recently shifted some capital into playable games. Not sure if you heard of that, but it's basically a Gala copycat. and they are ground floor, just started out, a month ago, less than a month ago. They're selling nodes. They've sold, I don't know what, 3,000. I could look. Forgive me if I'm wrong here, but by the time somebody listens to this, the number will change. But what I did is I scooped up quite a bit of their coin. I mean, I'm in the top 35 holders of their coin. I see that going upwards. So once that kind of pops up, then maybe I'll scoop up a couple nodes, maybe not. Nodes can be cumbersome, but that ties into my passive income plan.
Gotcha.
And then with Echoes of Empire, I have quite a bit of land already bought. So when that game kicks off, there'll be a mining mechanism inside the game. So I'm actually running a Echoes of Empire guild, over 100 players, just specifically in that team. But it's out of a server of 1,400 that play other games. So when that game kicks off, I know I'll be able to draw in more from the server alone
Yeah.
to mine lands, things like that. So again, that ties into sort of a fun way to create some passive income. But again, I caution anybody, thinking they're going to go into the play to earn games, just make a killing, because we've seen with Axie and with Townstar, the inflationary nature of these coins, and you have some people that put quite a bit of money in those NFTs, and they're not earning what they thought they would, and they're probably overexposed. So I probably sound very positive about it. It's because I like to have fun with it. If my crypto portfolio was wiped out tonight, I'd say, oh shit, and then I'd be fine,
Yeah.
because I have diversification in other markets. I
Yeah.
have the real boring savings accounts, things like that. So, anybody listening, I caution you, but don't move too much of your money into this stuff.
Gotcha. So, if you could go back to day one of getting into crypto, oh, and the markets, uh, just your whole investing life, if you could go back to day one and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Bite my tongue and read security analysis. It is the Bible of investing, and it absolutely applies to any any asset that you would consider buying. Um, it is the Bible sworn by Warren Buffett, and it is absolutely the go-to in how to value anything. So the two gentlemen that wrote it in the 30s, I mean, this book is pretty old. They were professors for Warren Buffett. And if I could go back to, young Shockwave, who decided to throw some money in from his paycheck, auto deduct there, like most people tend to do. I would stop that guy and say, hey, read this giant book that looks boring, and just suck it up, because it will pave the way. Because if I would have done that, um, not only would I had auto deduct go into that fund, I probably would have doubled down. I probably would have found ways to save even more money to buy securities, and I would have probably ventured quicker into individual stocks, knowing that it's very hard to beat the market. So
Yeah.
just buying the market, so to speak, is still the standard. Very hard to beat.
Yeah. Excellent advice. Um, so we're almost out of time. Do you have any closing thoughts for the audience?
I would pick up books. I know that was kind of my last piece of advice to young Shockwave, but the internet is full of information.
Yeah.
You can Google anything. But what I have learned over the years, and again, coming out of a couple different colleges with different degrees, is that nothing beats a published book. There is a quality control. There's standards that have to be met to be published, and the quality of information you're getting from a bound book is worlds better than what you're gonna find on a blog. Now that doesn't mean you can't find digital digital text, right? You can access collegiate libraries and read digital papers all day long, and there's a level of credibility. But that is a piece of advice I give any young people nowadays. You know, find something you're interested in, do it. Do it, what makes you happy. Read the stuff online, but then find where those principles are grounded. Find the book that those underlying ideas are founded on.
See,
Probably
that's
pretty boring advice, huh?
no, no, it's great, and that's some of the advice that I would give to someone that's on their first day, because that's how I did it for the first 6 to 8 months. I was working a full time job. I'd come home and study. I'd read the books. I'd take the classes. Back test strategies. I mean, I didn't even touch a market with real money. I didn't have skin in the game for 8 months when I first started out. I mean, and then I just started buying stocks, and I really didn't have, like, I got into the market with the plan to trade. Um, but then as time passed, I also wanted a diversified portfolio, and I have that. I'm even into commodities. I don't have any gold because I look at Bitcoin as my digital gold, but I do have silver, stocks, and I trade stocks, I trade crypto, and I trade options now. And I also have a diversified portfolio of crypto, including NFTs. So, diversification is important. I'm a big fan of Ray Dalio, and I've read quite a bit of his books, and he talks about an all-weather portfolio. And I don't have any bonds or anything like that, but I kind of took the principles from it and kind of applied it to my own investment professional life. You know, uh, Shockwave, I want to thank you for coming out. I really enjoyed the interview. It was a pleasure having you on.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really like what you're doing, and I wish the best of luck to you. And I know you and I will be in touch anyway. But anybody listening, I would follow this guy. He's onto something good.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Everyone, if you enjoyed the content, please like the video, and I will see you next time.